not joking. All my guys, them know me.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa, and if you're new, please like this video, subscribe, click the notification bell so that whenever I post, you'll be the very first to find out. Today, I want us to talk on a very important topic. We cannot even shy away from this topic. I, for one, am very much interested in knowing your opinion about this. As someone with 3 kids who are under 5, I really want to know what your input is about this topic and how best we can actually raise our kids in a first world country like the UK, for instance. It's extremely difficult raising children abroad. It's like a horse race. It is really difficult. So today's topic is a 13-year-old boy sued his parents for taking him to Africa. It is not clear where this boy is from, but I am assuming he is from Nigeria. So we all know that there's this practice of parents taking their unruling children to Africa, leaving them in a boarding school so they can get some wisdom, so they can get some training, so they can understand the African culture, get some training. Most times they take them to very strict boarding schools like Catholic schools or schools where they face strict discipline just so they are well groomed. Because here in the UK, for instance, there are some things you cannot do to your child. You can't hit your child. A 13-year-old boy can make some certain decisions for himself. You cannot lock your child, for example, outside for coming late. You know, those strict things that are being enforced on children in Africa, most of them are considered abuse in this country. So when you find that your child is being very unruly, your child is being very disobedient, what parents do, what they've been practicing and some still practice till now, is they just ship the child to Nigeria just so they are well groomed, they are well cultured, so they don't constitute nuisance to the society according to the parents. So let's just go through this article. Now, a 13-year-old boy has instituted a legal action against his parents, accusing them of brutally taking him overseas and enrolling him in a boarding school before abandoning him there. According to reports, the boy, whose identity is protected, contacted the British consulate and a child welfare organization after his parents registered him at an African school before returning to the United Kingdom. The parents physically and emotionally abandoned him due to concerns over his potential involvement in gangs in London, according to the boy's legal team. The boy, however, denied the accusation. The boy lawyers at the hearing, which began on Tuesday, requested a judge order his return to the UK, where he has lived since birth. However, the boy's father's lawyers argued that the decision to send him abroad was a legitimate exercise of parental responsibility. Deidre Fortre, case representing the boy, stated that his parents' actions were driven by the belief that there was no alternative way to address the perceived risks than removing him from the country. She added the steps that this boy, not yet 14, has taken to try and remedy the awful situation he finds himself in are extreme. There is a clear evidence that he is being harmed emotionally, psychologically, and possibly physically in the environment in which he has been placed. She emphasized that the boy's claim of not being involved in any gang was categorical, and the risks his parents feared, such as being stabbed or shot, were not a likely outcome should he return home. The boy was described in court as very polite and articulate, with a passion for football and cooking. According to Fortwell, he was enrolled in a school abroad without warning or consultation with him, under the pretense of caring for an ill relative. Upon arrival, his parents left him there. It's really a long article, but this is like the summary. So according to his parents, the boy is very unruly. He's part of a gang in London. He engages in criminal activities. He doesn't listen to them. In fact, according to reports, the boy stated that at some point, like, the mom physically abuses him in London. The lawyer representing him said even when the boy was here in the UK, that the boy was placed under incredibly restrictive measures like having his phone tracked, having his location constantly monitored, physical aggression from his mother when trying to tame him. But his parents, on the other hand, are saying that this boy has been involved in criminal activities. There are so many pictures on his phone of him holding knife, picture of him with other boys of his age holding knives, being extremely late to school, and they believe that the boy's potential will be wasted in the UK, that it's best to take him to Nigeria, where he can have access to high quality care and education and be nurtured in a boundary setting like boarding school, for instance. The court also heard that the parents' decision should be respected. I mean, the boy is under 18. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how this thing works. So if you're a lawyer, please get in here, because this situation is very, very dicey. It's very tricky. So if you're a lawyer, who do you think has upper hand here? Is it the boy or the parents? As a parent myself, I don't know what I would do if I was in their shoes. I feel like it's a very terrible situation to be in. What to do, when your child is unruling. You as the parent, you're watching your child, your 13-year-old boy, soon to be 14, is not listening to you, is not listening to your counsel, is being very unruly, goes out late, stays out of class, goes to school late, hangs out with gangs. You're even seeing pictures of knives and him hanging out with terrible boys. Can I just say that all these things are alleged by the parents? They are not proven yet, but this is the angle the parents they are coming from. Now, me being a parent, if I'm to put myself in their shoes, I don't even know what I would do. I can't even judge them for any decision they choose to take, because it is really painful watching your child waste away. We all want to raise good children. We all want our children to make us proud. Now, a situation whereby you're watching your child doing all these things and you can't even control your 13-year-old boy, that's very alarming. From my own end, and being a parent of 3, I can't even judge them, because I don't even know what I would do if I were in their shoes. It is not a shoe that anyone wants to be in. It is incredibly painful watching your child waste away. Like, you're telling your child, you need to read your books, you need to go for your football classes, you need to go for your cooking classes, you need to go for your swimming classes, you need to do this, you need to do that, and the child is telling you, hold up, dad, I'm not going to do that. Or the child will say, yes, daddy. And at the end of the day, the child ends up not attending any of these classes. What would you do as a parent? So this practice of shipping children back to Africa has been existing for decades. I remember in uni, there were this set of girls with American accent schooling with us in Unizik. They even went to secondary school in I think they came when they were like in JF3. They were born in America, they were raised in America, but the parents decided that, okay, all of you go back to Nigeria. And the parents were in America at the time. I remember then they were living with their auntie. It's a normal practice. Even one of my distant relative in America too, the kids, it took the kids to Nigeria. That practice over the years, it's been working, but currently I don't know if it still works. So even if it works, I'm sure it's not for everybody. It's not 100%. I would like to believe it's probably like a 70 or 60 something percent success rate, because one, you're distancing yourself from your child. You don't even know what your child is doing in Nigeria. I went to a boarding school, and I can tell you for a fact that if I wanted to go haywire, I would have. If I still wanted to be unruly, if I still wanted to do things, if I still wanted to like jump fence, visit man, and my school was even sharing fence with Uniben. If I wanted to go to Uniben to do what I like, I would have still been able to do that. That's the funny thing. I would have still been able to do that. So I'm not sure boarding school is actually the right place, because there are still badly raised children in boarding schools. There are still badly and terribly raised children in Nigeria. So when people say, bring her come Nigeria, you go hear what when you receive small boss bass, you go hear what, I'm like, hold up, is it not still the same Nigeria where I grew up, where I know that they are very disobedient children? The Iberos who raised them, the parents had the ability to beat and beat and beat and do whatever it is they want to do to their children, but they still ended up being lost. They still ended up being complete nuisance. I don't know how the Nigeria thing works, shipping your children to Nigeria. I'm sure there's a good percentage of success rate, but I would like to believe that it's just because it's the mercy of God, not because you're hitting the child or you're doing all sorts to the child or your child is being tamed in a boarding school. Yes, discipline is good. I'm not even going to shy away from that. It's good, but we don't talk about like the mental torture that your child tends to go through when you ship them from a society like this to Nigeria. We don't talk about it. So it's a very dicey situation, like I said, and I'm not even here to judge the parents at all, because as a parent myself, I pray not to find myself in that shit, because I don't even know what to do. When I watch people talk about, oh, hitting children is bad, don't do this, don't do that, my question is, okay, what do we do? Like, how do we raise our children? I believe in talking to children. For instance, my kids, if they misbehave, I always tell them, How do you feel? I want them to be able to express themselves. Mommy, I feel bad. Mommy, I feel sad. Mommy, this. Okay, are you going to apologize to mommy? Don't do this to mommy. And they'll say, sorry, mommy. Sorry, mommy. They are still little. They are just under 5. So will this method still work when they are 10, when they are 11, when they are 12? I don't know. I know for now, I'm just trying my best to make them very close to me, to bring them so close to me to the point that they can tell me everything. I'm trying my best not to judge them, not to shout at them, just to make them feel heard, make them feel listened to. That's how I plan on raising them. But like I said, I don't even know if it's going to work when they are 15. Obviously, there are parents who watching me that have been parenting for over 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Maybe you guys should tell us what has worked for you people over these years. What practice have you been consistent with that you can say this really works? Because when I look back, I don't even know what to do with my kids sometimes. In my heart of hearts, I don't know how best to raise these children. Because I want a child that will listen to me. I want a child that will say do this and the child will do that. So for example, in this country, I know there's a certain age that when you go to see your GP with your mom, they tell the mom to stay out. You know, like in Africa, you want to take your child, your teenage girl. Let's say your teenage girl is throwing up or having some signs. You take the teenage girl to the hospital or to the clinic. You and the teenage child will be in that consulting room. But here, I'm not sure of the age, they'll tell you to wait. Let them see their patients. Even if you're there, you can't even make some certain decisions. The patient is here. Let her tell me if she will be happy to progress with this medication. And you're like, hey, gods, my own child. So the practice is different. The cultural differences is differencing. It is a lot. How do we strike a balance? In this situation, according to the boy, the parents did not consult him before taking him to Nigeria. Exactly my point. Like, children that are raised there, they want to be heard. They want to be part of that decision. They want to be able to contribute. They don't want to live in ignorance. They don't want you to feel like you are your lord over them. I feel like at that point you're going to lose them. From what I have heard, like I said, I've not experienced it because my kids are still very little. But if I tell you that I am not thinking about how I'm going to raise them, I'm like, because I don't know the right methods to use. And that is why we have social media. Maybe people can start telling us, especially those of you that have raised really beautiful children abroad. When I see parents like that, I envy them. And I always tell them, well done. How did you do this? How? How were you able to raise this kind of child here? Children that are going to church, they are scholars in school. When it comes to extracurriculum activities, they are on par. They are doing well. So on this topic, it's still in court. The boy filed a lawsuit against his parents from Africa that they've taken his rights away from him. He's physically, emotionally, and mentally being abused in Nigeria, in Africa. The parents lied that they were going to look after a sick family member. On getting there, they dumped him. No, that thought. For a child of 13 to be able to sue his parents, it says a lot about that child. A whole lot about that child. 13 years old Melissa, they're saying, Mommy, thank you much. That if I do anyhow, I will see anyhow, like I will collect. Hey, God. 13 years. Where was I when I was 13? Probably JS2, where I didn't even have a say, in my life. All the decisions, everything was solely made by my mom. Where will I even have the liver to sue my mom? When I know that if I sue her, who is going to adopt me? You see, it's really crazy. That tells you a lot about children of these days. I really cannot wait for this case to end. It's because it is so dicey, and I, for one, am going to be following up this case because I really want to know. And of course, I'm going to come on this channel to tell you guys what the court finally decides, who the court rules in favor, the boys suing the parents or the parents. And I can't even begin to imagine what the parents are going through right now. They'll be going through a whole lot. Imagine your child suing you, taking you to court. Let's say you've never even been to the court. Someone like me, I don't even know what the courtroom looks like, and it's not my child that will be the one to make me know what a courtroom looks like. God, please have mercy on us. Oh my goodness. Anyway, guys, please show your inputs in the comment section. Are you parents of teenagers, of adults? How are you doing it? How are you raising them? What's have worked for you so far? Please share. We really, really want to draw from your wealth of knowledge. Tell us what has worked for you. What do you advise we do in this kind of society? How do we get it right with our children? Because I feel like if you lose your children, then this whole Japada thing is fruitless, is a waste. Because most of us, we are here because of our children. For me, I'm here because of my kids. I want them to have better life. So why would in my quest of them getting a better life, they end up going astray? I failed as a parent. Because what am I existing for if my kids are not getting it right? Anyway, thank you guys so much. Share, of course, your input in the comment section, and I will see you all again. Bye, guys.